Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Satomi, and in today's video I am going to be sharing 5 tips to decluttering. But before I get started, I wanted to show you this sweatshirt from Nordstrom. I absolutely love it. It's a heart of the world. It says stronger together, and I just love the message of this sweater. And when I saw it last week, I was at Nordstrom's with my mom. I saw it last week, and it immediately made me think of my friend Connie. It's something that she said to me, and we kind of said to each other back and forth. So she lives out of state, and I purchased 2, one for me, and I sent one to her. And I said, even though we're miles apart, we could still be together when we wear these sweatshirts. And I just love it. I think they're new right now, so Nordstrom's is where I got it. And by the way, my friend Connie has a beautiful store in St. Augustine, Florida, and it's called Attic, A-T-T-I-C. So if you're ever in the area, or if you're from St. Augustine, you have to go check her store out. Okay, so back to decluttering. So decluttering can be as big or as small as a job that you make it. I personally love the process of decluttering because I like decluttering in small portions. I am not someone who wants to spend the entire day cleaning something out, decluttering an area. I instead prefer decluttering small areas, small spaces throughout my house throughout the day, so that way it never turns into a big project for me. So this leads me into tip number 1. Pick one room in your home and declutter a small space in that room every single day. For example, if you wanted to start decluttering your kitchen, instead of saying, I'm gonna declutter the entire kitchen, which could take hours depending on how big your kitchen is, I would say, okay, I'm gonna declutter my kitchen, and today I'm gonna start with one kitchen drawer. And how I would declutter it is I would remove everything from that drawer. I would then add any organizing bins or trays that fit in that drawer. And as I put things back in that drawer, I would look at each utensil or each tool, whatever it is that drawer is filled with, and think to myself, do I really need this? Do I want it? And do I use it? If you're able to say yes to those things, then I would keep it. I would also ask myself, do I have more than one of these? And out of the 2 or 3, which one do I like best? And I would keep the newer one or the better working one. Then when you're finished putting everything back in your drawer, whatever you're not gonna keep, I would put into a trash bag and put it aside so that the next day when you declutter another drawer, you could continue to fill that bag up. And once your bag is completely filled up, I would just drop it off at a donation center. Then when you're finished decluttering all of the drawers in your kitchen, I would move on to one of your higher cupboards. I would clean one cupboard out per day, and then when you're finished with all of your higher cupboards, I would then move to the lower cupboards. And I would move around your kitchen until you've cleaned out every single space in that kitchen. It might take you a week, it might take you 2 weeks, but once you're done decluttering your entire kitchen, that entire room is now done. Then I would move on to another room and do the same thing. By doing it this way, picking one small area in a room and working that entire room allows you to break down a huge project into small pieces. Everybody could find 10 minutes in every day, but not everybody has 2 hours in any given week to dedicate to one thing like decluttering. So by taking this big project and breaking it into smaller jobs, this makes the big job a manageable one, and it makes it so that you will actually do it. Tip number 2, declutter as you go so it does not turn into a big job. So in the morning when I get my coffee, if I notice that the shelf is getting overloaded with coffee mugs, I can just look and pick 2 or 3 coffee mugs that I just am not using very often, or I just don't want them anymore. At that moment, I can just take those coffee mugs out and put it in the donation bag, and I immediately cleared out my space, which took me literally 2 seconds. And as I do this, decluttering turns into something that I just do throughout my day instead of it turning into this huge job for me later. Tip number 3, after you finish decluttering one area, continue to keep that space organized and decluttered. Maintaining a decluttered space is so much easier than having an overwhelming job to do later. And once you get into the habit of maintaining a decluttered space in one area, that habit will move along to other areas of your home. You'll notice that as you continue to declutter areas in your home, you'll want to keep that space decluttered and maintained. 1, because the job is now super tiny to do when it's just maintenance. And 2, because it is a much more functional, practical space for you. Tip number 4, be selective. Decluttering is about only keeping the things that you really need and you really want. As you're decluttering the stuff in whatever particular space you're working on, be selective and be honest with yourself. Do you really like this? Do you really use it? How many of these do you have? A lot of times we have more than we actually need, and definitely more than we actually use. So only keep the things that you really need and you really use, and be honest with yourself. If you've been holding on to an extra toaster for 20 years and you've never used it, I'm telling you, you never will. And if you ever feel like you need another toaster, you could just go out and buy one, and they look better today, they're more sleek, the models are more upgraded. My point is, you don't need to hold on to appliances or stuff around your house that you don't really need. It all just creates clutter. Remember, decluttering is about simplifying your space. It's about making your space manageable and functional for you. So if you have a lot of stuff sort of piled upon each other, there's nothing functional about that. So by managing that space, you give yourself more space for more things that you might really need. And finally, tip number 5, customize decluttering to your lifestyle. We all like getting tips from other people and hearing and learning how other people declutter their home. But the reality is, what works for one person may not work for you, and most likely won't work for you. Don't follow someone else's checklist of things to declutter. It's really great to get inspiration and motivation and even tips from people, but then take that and customize it and make it personal to your life. Take tips and instructions from other people, but be realistic and true to yourself. Decluttering is about having less chaos around you, which equals less stress for you. You'd be surprised how much decluttering lightens you, and not just lightens your shelves or your closets, but lightens you emotionally and mentally. As you get rid of things and as you get stuff out of your home, you feel a sense of burden and weight lifted off of you, and you feel freer and lighter. Not everyone equates chaos and clutter in your home to chaos and clutter in your mind and in your spirit. But the truth is, the more clutter there is physically around you, the more cluttered you're gonna feel mentally and emotionally as well. So it's time to free yourself. So those are my 5 tips on decluttering. Let me know in the comments section if you plan on decluttering just one small space in your home after watching this video. I wanna thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up. I'd love for you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other videos. I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Are you saying hi? Are you hi? Are you saying hi? Are you saying hi? Are you saying hi? Do you see yourself? Oh, look at that. Who's that cute boy? Who's that cute boy? Who's that cute boy? I love you.